It's been really fun and way more intense than high school, which I like, and the team has just been very supportive, so it's made it an easy transition for me.
Emily, you've stepped into a starting role this year and have a lot of good early season success. What's been kind of different in your mindset this spring?
My mindset this spring has just been helping the team in any way I possibly can, and if that's going in to be bro, then that's what I'm going to try and do my best at. So yeah.
Coach, team kind of got an unexpected weekend off last week. Is that some silver lining in that the rest recover? Or?
Yeah, I think you answered the question for me. I think it is going to be a silver lining. There's just some little nicks and knacks, or just little minor injuries that I think the rest is going to be key, and I think it was huge for all of us. And the team's on pause basically until this afternoon, so it was a nice rest period. We always worry about those first couple of practices coming back from a rest, and we just got to make sure the intensity's there.
Open it up for questions.
Anything to prevent you from going to Shannon, Nebraska, or making those wonderful long road trips in the RMAC?
Off the record, at a press conference, yes. So we didn't really have COVID. Actually, about half the team did, or it was just a close contact. We didn't actually have any positive tests, but we didn't have any setters. So it was either stay home or pull the Denver Broncos thing with no quarterbacks, and that was not pretty. So we decided to stay home.
Okay, a good plan. So Emily, I mean, you find out, what, 2 days before the first match that, hey, it's your turn to get into the starting lineup? No time to get nervous, I'm guessing, just get there and play?
I was very nervous going in, but I know that Coach and watching Kirsten play has helped me get into that role and be prepared to play whenever I needed to. So, yeah.
So you played the last 2 years. I mean, I know you didn't play a lot your freshman year, but you got in quite a bit last year. And I think you got like 100% more digs in maybe one match than you had last first season. What helped you make that transition into being the starting libero?
I had a long talk with Kirsten actually, and she just helped remind me that I've been here practicing every day and just doing what I do at practice, and that's what will help in the games.
See the ball, get it up, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sabrina, for you, you talked about the pace of the game earlier and the intensity, in playing the center role and being a really key role, what have you seen with Emily and the defense and the offense so far? If that makes sense. What have you seen offensively through the role as a center in other positions that's different than high school, if that makes sense?
Oh yeah, so we definitely, defense is key, and our defenders are very good compared to high school, definitely more trained, and I know that if I put a ball up for a hitter, they're going to do something with it, where at high school it was are they going to hit it in, or just not that competitive mindset. But everyone playing college ball is competitive, and I know that we're all working towards a win and not against each other, so that's a big thing that I've seen on our team.
You guys have only had one weekend of, the pod format. Does it kind of bring you back into this mentality of club ball, lots of games in one single day, and how have you guys made that adjustment and being okay, one game, kind of a long break possibly, and then, gotta play again?
I guess I'm kind of used to it because this is what I see college volleyball as being. I don't know the other side of it, of just playing one game. So I guess I am very used to it because I just came from club where we played many games. So it's kind of in the same sense, the same as club where I'm playing multiple games.
It was a transition for me for sure, from one game and then a long break, the next day play. But I just thought of it as going in, playing the hardest I can the first game, and then during that break getting the mentality of, okay, this is the first game again, and thinking of it as a brand new day.
So it's obviously down the road, it's going to help come tournament time, I'm guessing. Because you're used to, okay, we gotta go again, instead of, well, we'll play again in 24 hours.
Mhm.
Dave, I mean, you talked a little bit about how Emily just kind of rolled into that role and how she could have been playing, it's just you were stacked at that position. But what is she showing you the first 2 weeks that, hey, I guessed right when I said come play for us?
Well, we've always felt she was super athletic, and if we had a conversation the day that Kirsten got injured, that we really felt like Emily was a starter anyway. I mean, the reason that she's not starting for us is the NCAA limits substitutions. If it was up to us, her and Lehman would be in the back row together all the time. So that's a no-brainer for us. And when it was an easy switch when she got hurt to put Tucker in. And I think the big key that I've seen out of Tucker so far is Northwest Nazarene kind of picked her on her early. And then she did pass great to start, but she found a way. She was really resilient, kept working at it, didn't get frustrated with herself, and did a great job and kind of bounced back. Obviously, we went down 0-2, but we found a way to win. And if you looked at the scores of the last 2 games, we won pretty easily. And I think that part of that is just that Emily got comfortable and she was tough when they were going after her. And they stopped serving her because they saw that she was passing nails. So
what's your mindset when teams decide, okay, hey, new libero, let's go pick on her because, they scouted, they know what Kirsten can do. What's the mindset for you, and how do you kind of, hey, go ahead,
Originally, it was just go for it, and it'll prove to you that I can pass. And like Coach said, I was struggling in that first game. And just going in, and I just was like, you know how to do this. You've done this plenty of times. Just go in and don't think about it and just pass the ball type of thing.
So how helpful is it? I mean, you're running on and off the court all the time. If you struggle, you've got Kirsten there, right there where you can talk to her and just kind of, hey, what should I do here to get better?
Yeah, that's been super helpful for sure. And even if it's just a quick, you need to hold and base, it just makes my mind start thinking a little bit more about what I should be doing. So it's been super helpful having her there.
Just try to, if you have a bad pass, you got to tell yourself forget about it. And
Yeah.
to the next.
Yeah, just forget about it and move on.
I'm just going to add that she helps bad passes. So I think she takes pressure off Emily a lot too. So you don't need a perfect pass with Sabrina or any of our setters. They do a really good job of taking that 2 pass, that pass that's off the net a little bit, and still setting tempo or still setting all of our hitters. So
How important is that to have that on your team as well, to have like setters like that you can rely on?
I think the most underappreciated positions in volleyball are the 2 sitting right next to me, the libero and the setter. If you don't have a good libero and you don't have a good setter, you're not going to be very successful. You can have great attackers, but who cares about third contact if you can't handle 1 and 2? So both of these guys are very talented. I mean, usually freshmen don't come in. And actually, the first contact for Colorado Mesa this season was by a freshman. She served for us right out of the gate, so it was in too.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't her best serve ever, but it was in. But these guys are really good at what they do, and it makes it takes pressure off everybody. It takes pressure off the attackers that they know where the ball's going to be. Emily doesn't feel like she has to be absolutely perfect to get to a slow setter. Sabrina's got wheels, so and it makes my job easier too. And it's a lot of fun to coach them.
Were you trying not to hyperventilate back there? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I was very nervous. Like my whole body was shaking. I'm like, I at least need to make just my first serve in, then I'll be fine. So yeah, tried to hide the nerves for sure.
Sabrina, like you said, you may not know any different, but having a whole semester with this team, getting used to college, how important was that for you versus the typical get thrown in, you have a week or 2 before college starts?
Yeah, I really liked having the first semester just to kind of get to know everyone and like ease into it instead of just being thrown into like games right away, because I got to like bond with them more and like feel more comfortable with them. So I felt like that really, I would have been way more nervous if I were to be thrown in last semester than this one. So.
To expand on that too, we talked to Spitz a couple weeks ago about her transition and running a 0 tempo as a middle hitter. What has that transition, what has that process been like for you as a center?
Yeah, it was definitely hard at first but then you start to feel your hitters more, and like especially coming in and having all new hitters, like it was very hard to adjust to the sets that like they wanted to do in college, and especially like changing my sets per hitter and like getting a feel for that. But now that I know like all the hitter speeds and like how high they jump, or it just makes it easier to know like what consistent set for each hitter is. So yeah.
Emily, growing up here, playing, I mean, Panama State's always had such a good program. Like up here, I mean, you've been coming to camp since, what, 6th, 7th grade, I think?
Mhm.
What does it mean to you to finally grab the libero jersey and be out on the court? And, hey, mom and dad can actually come and watch you once in a while.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be a libero in college, honestly. I always thought I'd hit just because that's what I've done my whole life. So it's different when I came in and they were like, hey, you're going to be a libero. But grabbing that jersey and going out there is so much fun, and just getting to play with everyone and seeing them when I was in 6th and 7th grade and seeing where everyone is now and playing together, it's different and it's really awesome.
So you were big enough in high school to hit, right? But
Yes, but not in college.
She's still pretty good.
I mean, how long did it take you to adjust? I mean, you played back row, obviously, in high school, but how long did it take you to kind of adjust and be comfortable with being a libero?
I think it only took a couple of weeks, just because right out of the gate, that's what I did every day during practice. I was just back there for serve, receive, and defense. And so after a couple of weeks, I got used to being in there. And I had 2 liberos, Taylor and Kirsten, that I could watch and really get the grasp of what to do.
And you played with a couple of these at one time.
Yes.
What made you decide, okay, she's a libero, before even practice started or something?
Well, I think what caught my attention initially with her was just her hustle. A lot of the hustle plays that she was very good at pursuing balls. There was a bad shank or whatever. She just had great hustle and great speed, and just was kind of a natural in the back row. I mean, when she was playing outside, she was playing all 6 rotations and a primary passer. So we knew she had back row skills, but she could also hit. And when she first came in the gym, we didn't know either. She's a little smaller for outside hitters at 5'8", but she still has a really good arm swing. So, sorry, Erin. Yeah, you were pretty good, too, back in the day. That's Erin Perez there behind the camera for all you guys in front of the camera. She was pretty good at it as well. Hey, we got a 5'4" outside hitter that's pretty good, too. But anyway, and it's just a natural progression. It's kind of like once you get in our gym, let's find the position that fits best for our program. So we have people that switch from outside to right side, from right side to middle. I don't think Sabrina's going to switch. So it was just, we knew Emily was a good athlete, and let's see where she fits. And I think libero's a good spot.
Any changes to this week? Are we good? What are we doing this week? No?
No comment yet?
No, go ahead.
Westminster has a contact tracing issue. Black Hills had a positive, so they are out on Friday. So we're doing one match against Colorado Christian at 1 o'clock if approved by everybody. And then we're just going to have kind of a practice with them afterwards since they made the trip over. So.
Question of the week. Favorite road trip snack?
Come on, volleyball has more snacks on the than teams take on the road.
Mine is always goldfish or Cheez-Its.
I like trail mix.
Jesus, once you have that first one, you just can't stop. Just like, get the box away from me.